Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 8 Japanese cruiser Atago. She has 10 203mm guns, 16 torpedoes, 38 AA defense rating, a surface detect of 10.4 kilometers, top speed 35.5 knots, total health 40,100. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main armament, improved aiming accuracy, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift, concealment. For my commander, basic survivability, basic firing training, expert marksman, superintendent, and demolition expert. We are on the map Trident, and this is me trying to train up my Mogami commander. It was on the stream, but I want to explain it, and it's a very interesting, a unique experience. This is a game where almost every single kill, 90% of the kills, are from dot-related damage. And people go, what's a dot, Notser? What's a dot? I don't know this lingo. Damage over time. So anything that is applied to a target and it does damage after the fact, which would obviously be fire, that sounds like fire, and floods. Now these things exist in real life. If you take a torpedo hit, you're going to take an initial concussion, initial explosive, and then you might have to make sure that all the compartments of the ship don't flood, so you stay afloat, right? That's extended damage. Same with fire. If you don't put out a fire, it's going to overwhelm the crew, and you're not going to be having a lot of good luck, right? So it's very important that as a Japanese cruiser, you think about floods and fires. And this is an interesting map, an interesting game for just that. Now I'm engaging the enemy Nagato, and I'm using the dynamic. The Nagato, not quite a 30-knot ship. Ooh, we set him on fire. That's 2 fires. He should put it out. He should put it out. I don't think he hasn't had damage control yet. It's way too early in the match. But I guess he has. Either way, he's going to burn for a while, and we're going to take advantage. HE, HE, HE. The only time as a Japanese cruiser you fire AP is if it's a very obvious, and I was about to run into the Fuso, drop the speed, hard to starboard. If it's a very obvious AP at the waterline broadside, then you fire AP. But otherwise, you should try to use HE all the time. The shell is just so effective, and it really does require a player change their tactics if multiple targets are using HE against you. It's just the way the game is working. Now let's do a quick check. Is the fire still on the enemy Nagato? It is not. How did I do that? Quick check on the damage counter. It's real time, whether you see the target or not. So it does give you extra information. It's important that you access it. And on the stream I was explaining that the Atago has a very unique layout. You can send torpedoes forward or nearly forward of the ship, and we have a friend, enemy Scharnhorst. He's headed this way, potentially, and I potentially want to send my torpedoes, so I'm going to angle to use the port side forward. It seems like he might know what's coming. Now you see the limited range. If you wanted to send both sets, you have to basically turn the entire ship around. That is a weakness, but I will take that strength for having to angle the ship more to access all the torpedoes, right? I don't really care about that. Unfortunately, the enemy Scharnhorst is moving away. He's not going to be an issue. I'm not going to hit him with my torpedoes. We're all sad, right? And while all this is going on, there's a lot of people on the western side of the map, clearly. I think this is the enemy Nagato that we set on fire earlier, and he probably put it out. Either way, it's out. I intend to set him on fire again, and I don't want to run into the island in front of me, so I lead the target. Could have led it just a little bit better. Oh, really? We straddled the target? Really? That was a bad luck shot there. And I elevate the gun, I lead him a little bit more, compensate, right? I was worried that the friend needed assistance, but no, he doesn't. The enemy Sims is dead, the enemy Nagato avoids it completely. We have a Frenchie over here, enemy Dunkirk, and I love you guys, the French. Okay, I'm just messing with you, okay? When I say Frenchie, I'm sure it's like, it's sort of like, say, America. That's the way I see it, you know. Either way, it's pretty rare to see a French ship, right? And you know what is very obvious up front? Playing it and playing against it, it burns. It burns like a Roman candle. It really does burn. And you need to consider burning it. He puts the fire out aggressively. We set another fire. He is still immune. While we're doing the fire setting, I'm doing 6K per shot. Thank you very much. He's in close proximity to the friendly. This is not good for him. I mean, he might kill the friendly, but the friendly's going to get torpedoes out, and torpedoes rebalance battleships pretty accurately. Yeah, that's about what was supposed to happen. So we're doing pretty good. The teammates are taking care of their 1v1s. Not every game can be said the same, right? You could be in a situation. Halo Warlord, interesting. Either he likes Halo Wars, the video game, the real-time strategy Halo game, or he really likes being a warlord with a halo over his head. I don't know. But when teammates cover their butts in a 1v1, it allows you to do more things. So I'm going to try and angle against the enemy Scharnhorst. And remember, his caliber isn't big enough where he can cancel out your angle. I know it took a little seconds for that, but he really can't do it. So any angle you can put into your ship is going to make you feel more comfortable against the Scharnhorst. It just is. The caliber's not there. It doesn't have a large enough effect on the ship to really feel it. Unless it's a citadel, if he can get that. He's not going to get a citadel if I maintain good angling. I'm just going to try again. Angle. Use the island to my advantage. And he barely nicks us, right? Barely any damage. Most, they fall harmlessly above the ship. I set it on fire, and the fire is sticking. It is indeed sticking, and I think it's going to stick for the rest of his life. But I'm not confident that I, of all people, are going to get the damaging shot, the final kill shot. So I'm going to try and look for a shot, and I'm not going to get it. The island is in the way. I have to hope that the team is not going to look for it, and we do. We do get a fire kill on the enemy battleship. Very rare that an enemy can go 3,000 life without taking any attention, right? Most of the time, I lose out on those kills. The enemy New Orleans tried to fire on us. I send my torpedoes against the enemy New Mexico, who is also looking directly at us, and there's torpedoes on my right flank. Oh my god! It's an enemy destroyer! Where did he come from? There's nothing on the map that says he's there, but obviously the torpedoes and the smoke would say otherwise. He must have just been hidden the entire time, and this is not looking good. I need to maintain good angling. Enemy New Orleans, enemy New Mexico, enemy New Mexico. They're all within range to engage me, and yes, it's an enemy Mutski. How dare you double-crossing destroyer. It just seems like it's my break, where these destroyers are so good at hiding. And maybe we'll hit the torpedo? You know, my problem is that I don't send enough torpedoes. But I'm going to try... Oh, we hit a torpedo. We caused a flood. And it is indeed sticking on the target. It is indeed sticking on the target. I think we got him. If he can't put it out right now, he's going to die real quick. Torpedoes are no joke. The flood is doing massive damage. And yeah, that's our number 2 kill via dot damage. But yeah, you gotta send your torpedoes, Notser. Send your torpedoes. That's my problem. I will send them if I don't have 100%. And what is he doing? Is he really? Does he really think he can take us? Really? Oh, we set a fire on the enemy, and that's good. Probably gonna be put out. But another fire is another fire, right? Does he really think he could take me? And I felt like there is a possibility of torpedoes as he was moving away, so I didn't want to come around the island. I didn't want to give him that satisfaction, and yes, it was. Knew it! Knew it! You gotta get comfortable feeling the torpedo. Either play the class or research it. It's gonna tell you everything you need to know. And the class would tell me, don't aggressively try and take out a Japanese cruiser. That's the last cruiser you would ever want to face because their HE is that good. First salvo, 5,000? 5,000? And of course he sent his torpedoes. It took him forever to fire his gun. So we're going to just angle away from the potential torpedo risk. You need to fire your guns and try and work in the torpedo launch in between the reload cycle to sort of hide your intent. And yep, he did indeed send. Now, I did wander a little bit too far over, so I need to be careful. I missed with the salvo, but I don't really care. I don't want to take the torpedo. If I take a torpedo, I'm basically dead. So we survive. He's got one fire on him from the friendly Sims. The Sims is a good player. I engage the enemy. I set him on fire. And really? Really? He dies to dot. I couldn't really control when he died, but he died to a dot. Now, we already did like 7,000 or 8,000 points of damage to him. It wasn't a situation where I did, oh no, he snuck those out. Oh, we gotta pull a Notser. We gotta pull a tactical Notser. We cannot afford to take these. I have no choice. I have to run aground in order to avoid them. And this is completely valid. If you have to, run aground. That's the only way I was able to avoid that. There was no other option. Am I even going to actually be able to avoid the... Nope, nope. Absolutely, we pulled a Notser. We pulled a Notser. But you had to do that. There are legitimate reasons for running into an island. If you need to avoid torpedoes, if you need to scrape an island to force aircraft to launch on another side. I've done that before too. And scraping is basically... you are still moving forward, but you're not giving the torpedo bomber a room, an area to drop. If you try to drop on the side with the island, it's going to just hit the island and not do anything, right? It's not even going to display because torpedoes don't exist until they're in the water. It would be cool to see the dive bombers and the torpedo bombers dropping their load, like seeing the torpedo hit the water, whoosh, splash up. That would be really cool. I don't know if they want to do that, and they probably say, oh, it's an effect that you're never going to notice, but I think I noticed it. Enemies taken out, good. This game has ended up working out just wonderfully. And we have somehow had 3 kills, all to dot damage. Enemy New Mexico, he looks AFK. Basically, he's in the same spot he probably started the match in. But he's there. He's there. It's just who he wants to engage, right? We fire HE. He's pretty neutral. You fire HE when they're neutral. You only fire AP in a Japanese at a perfect broadside, or it's going to be a perfect broadside scenario. Don't even spend more than half a second considering, oh, are we going to run into a friendly? Full stop, full stop. Hard to port, hard to port. We set them on fire. Good, good. And we did indeed hit the Colorado. Sorry, Colorado. Didn't mean to. And I do think the New Mexico, either he disconnected or I don't know what is up. He's not really doing anything. And the fire that we set is on his nose. So I decide to fire my gun just to make sure, but I don't need to. The fire is allowed to kill a target again. What bizarre world am I in where targets are allowed to bleed out? Usually, I'm on a team where every single target that is below 5,000 or 10%, everyone's firing at it for the last shot, right? But this one, it seems like nobody is firing when a target is super low and still has a dot, either torpedo flooding or a fire from someone's gun. It's really weird. Usually it's like, oh, race for it. I don't need to. My dot's gonna kill him. Okay, well, that's great. There's only 2 enemies left. An enemy, Saipan. Saipan's gonna die. He's so low. I'm not even gonna fire at this guy. And yeah, indeed, he's dead. Good. The Fuso got a kill. Great. The only person on our team that does not have a kill is Vernon. It would be nice to see Vernon get a kill, but I don't know where Vernon is. The team has done a great job. The people who are alive deserve to be alive. They deserve all the accolades that they, this Sims, he's taken on, what, three enemy ships? And he's gotten 2 kills. And I got the Mutsuki kill, but I couldn't really control the dot. What can I do? I can't tell it to not do damage. The game's been great. It's just such a weird game, right? And in the stream, they were going, Kraken, Kraken, Kraken. Sims, please don't die. He's taking like no damage. He's not gonna die. But yeah, the stream chat was Kraken, Kraken, Kraken. It's like Mighty Ducks. Quack, 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 quack. And I was like, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. We've got the New Orleans over there. He's sort of hiding directly behind the island. Is he gonna go north? Is he gonna go south? What's gonna happen, right? It's on the table, but it's probably not gonna happen. Highly unlikely, I would say. We've got 30,000 points of damage to do, and everyone on my team to do the damage. So, we just started off with HE. He's, of course, neutral. Why even change, right? I don't want to run into the Sims and kill him. But he's going to run into me. I think I'm going to scrape. Yep, just a little scrape. We're able to not hit him with the guns, thankfully. And this New Orleans is doing everything to juke and jive. We've got 1,600. We weren't the one who set a fire, though. Someone else did. And he's still not showing his side. So it's still a valid HE scenario. And he's too far away for torpedoes. We've got to get a little bit closer in order to use the torpedo systems. It is a valid tactic. We just need to get closer. Okay? Stream, I know. I always love it. Use the torpedoes. I know they're trying to time it out because the chat is a little delayed. But you know what? Screw the stream. Screw the channel. I think he's going to show his side. I think he's going to be in a perfect broadside. And he is indeed within range of my torpedoes. Now I send my torpedoes. I'm going to fire HE, and I'm going to switch to AP. This is the first time you've swapped, and I could have aimed that better. But we do set him on fire, do 3,000. It could have been aimed better, but this is what I'm talking about. You use AP in very obvious broadside scenarios. So we fire at the waterline. Looks good. We take the target out. We earn Kraken. And it's the only kill where it wasn't via dot damage. It was legitimate main battery. Or torpedoes, but it was main battery. We got Kraken Unleashed. 5 kills. 10 fires. 1 torpedo. 92,000 points of damage done. A ton of credits. People ask me, what's a great credit earner? The Atago and the Scharnhorst. Those will make you a ton of bank all the time. I really do mean it. We did 1,734 base XP. Everyone on our team deserved that victory. They were all up there at the top. Great job. And I did about everything. 50,000 in HE, 2,000 in AP, 10,000 in torpedoes, 27,000 floods and fires. Very balanced gameplay in the Japanese cruiser line. I hope you enjoyed this game. I really liked killing all those targets with dots. It's just so rare. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.